Hello again, friends, and welcome to another edition of If This Car Could Talk. Today we're bringing you a unique Ford Model A that we found recently at a local show in Phoenix, Arizona. We've both been interested in cars for over 50 years, and I only remember seeing about a half a dozen of these cars over the years. And Dana says she's seen maybe one or two. And trust me, we go to a lot of shows and have for 5 decades. This is a truly rare automobile, as you'll soon learn from this video. The Model A could arguably be considered, even today, as one of the most popular and collectible cars of the 20th century. But this isn't the first time Ford used the Model A designation. It was used on their first car in 1903, and each new model would be assigned the next letter of the alphabet. This model lineup succeeded the legendary Model T, a car in continuous production all around the world for just over the next 19 years. The T had been credited by historians as the car that put the world on wheels. Over 15 million of them were sold during this time. Henry Ford's only child, Edsel, joined the company in 1919 as president when he was 25 years old. He held that position until his death in 1943. He'd already realized that cars by the mid-1920s were looked at by potential buyers not only for their usability, affordability, reliability, and resale value, but oftentimes more for their styling, color choices, and a choice of body styles. Edsel could never convince his father otherwise. Henry wanted to keep producing the Model T indefinitely. Reluctantly, Henry saw what his competition was doing and finally gave in to his son. Quickly, Ford Motor Company opened a styling studio for all their different vehicles, with a heavy influence from Edsel himself. It turns out that Edsel had a natural talent for automotive design and styling. Ford knew that this all-new automobile would have to be called the Model A again. Even his father could no longer deny that the era of the Model T was over. The entire line of cars and trucks were introduced to the public on December 2, 1927, and were all marketed as 1928 models. The debut of this all-new car was carefully planned, so every dealer would have at least one car to show their potential customers. The company knew people would need to see all the other body styles that could be ordered, so all dealers received ample supplies of sales materials at the same time. Over 9 million people flocked to their nearest Ford dealer to see it for themselves during the first week, placing nearly 500,000 orders. The following weeks, millions more saw these beautiful, all-new motor cars, and by the end of 1927, 2 million orders had been placed, assuring the company that filling all these orders would take months. Please note that some of these numbers varied widely during my research, but you get the idea. Customers were eager to see and buy a new Model A. By the end of production for the 1931 model year, Model A's accounted for nearly 4.9 million vehicles sold by Ford worldwide. But underneath the completely new styling, the mechanics of the new model had to be rock solid, just like the Model T that preceded it. And they would be. The Model T used a 177 cubic inch inline 4-cylinder engine producing only 20 horsepower along with a 2-speed planetary gear manual transmission. To be fair, with the lack of good roads and most people never venturing far from home, that was acceptable. The Model A increased the engine's displacement to 201 cubic inches, and it had twice the horsepower than its predecessor, now sending the power to the rear via a 3-speed manual slide mesh. The 1932 Model B would continue to use this drivetrain. Model A passenger cars had a wheelbase that was increased to 103.5 inches, 3.5 inches more than the Model T. The 32 Fords would again grow, with the car's wheelbase going to 106 inches. However, the focus of this video is about one specific model that would only be produced for about 6 months at the tail end of Model A production, just before the all-new 32 models were unveiled. Our subject car today is the A-400, a two-door convertible sedan with stationary sheet metal convertible top sides with the foldable top in the center. With the introduction of the convertible sedan on May 22, 1931, car buyers were offered a unique vehicle for those that wanted a sedan to seat 5, but also gave them the ability to put the top down during sunny days with no precipitation in sight. During inclement weather, the flat folding top sealed tightly against the fixed sides to provide protection from the elements. A traditional convertible touring sedan only provided side curtains for this task, and those never really worked too well. Just before the A400 was in production, the Ford sales department sent correspondence to all the branch sales offices, who in turn notified all the dealers in their zone about the new model's equipment list. Since this car was now part of the deluxe lineup, the package included dual ashtrays, a top boot, full-length bumpers, chrome exterior windshield frame and wiper arm, cowl lamps, wire wheels painted in complementing colors to the car, and a driver's side front fender spare tire assembly. Both door windows and quarter windows were equipped with manually operated regulators. Only one trim scheme was available for the interior. It was a genuine deep tan crushed grain leather on the seats and matching artificial leather on the panels. The driver's front seat was now adjustable. Rear passengers would get an armrest for each end of the seat. A brown carpet was used on the front and rear floor, on the sills, and on the heel guard. The garnish moldings around the windows, the finish strips, and the dash panel were all painted an imitation walnut grain. The interior hardware on the convertible sedan is bright nickel plate and was the only deluxe model with bright interior hardware. Aftermarket suppliers wasted no time in offering tons of different accessories for the Model A. Most notably are the radiator shell ornaments. The one shown on our subject car is aftermarket, while the one on the blue car is genuine Ford, known as the coil ornament. Integrated into this classic design is a thermometer, so you could tell at a glance if your car was overheating. Ford also got in on other accessory sales as well. The sales department also notified all branches that the first A400s would be shipped on May 25, 1931. It was about the same time that stylists had the factories paint the car's main body color on the two recesses of the radiator shell. Other deluxe A's would also adapt this new feature. In June of 1931, a second letter of instruction was sent to the branches, listing the standard colors for the A400. There were 5, and all showed the body, belt, and molding to be one color and the reveals another. In addition, the sales literature stated that the A400 was available in all deluxe body colors. By putting all this information together, it appears that the convertible sedan was available in 17 different body color schemes, more than any other Model A except the commercial line. 2 different custom coach builders provided Ford with these beautiful bodies. Both Briggs and Murray were selected to fulfill the orders for the new A400. While on the surface they seemed exactly the same, both companies pre-painted and striped each one a bit differently. Each had a unique way of applying the stripes and painting the reveals. Domestic production of this A400 was 4,864 units from May through December of 1931, while 229 additional cars were assembled in international factories in Canada and Argentina for a grand total of 5,093 cars. Model A production was extended because all of Ford's assembly plants were retooling for the completely new 1932 automobiles. By March of 32, factories were building cars, with most models being available with Ford's all-new, low-priced V8 engine. The A-400 successor was the B-400, but it didn't find many takers. Within a few months, this model was discontinued, with only about 850 cars sold. The model designation is misleading because in 1932, four-cylinder vehicles were designated a B model, while the V8s were officially known as 18 models. So there you have it, a rare body style from a company that produced millions of cars in this series for 4 model years. Tell us in the comments whether you've seen or even heard of this incredibly elegant body style before today. Thanks for watching.